When they say equipment doesn't matter, and maybe it doesn't matter to the client, but to the person behind the camera, it matters. All right. How you doing, everybody? CJ Williams, Primetime Media, right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I specialize in video production for my clients, whether it be in the form of an all-day intensive or retainer-based content creation. I do it. I handle it for businesses in this area. I want to talk about podcast production because that's big. That's something that's on the rise. Everybody has a podcast these days, and we all know how important video is. This is a great opportunity for people in the video production business, videographers like myself. But it can be some tedious work. It can be hard to produce podcasts, and not having the right equipment will make it harder. We're talking about 2-3 days of turnover. 2-3 days, I could have a full podcast episode turnover if, I really sat down and did it. And that's a big thing for people who produce podcasts, because they have, a lot of times they're rolling this stuff out every week. So if they can get that content back in 3-4 days, that'd be great for them. So what I use, especially when it comes to the video, is the Yolobox Pro. This, I think, it's like $1,300. That's rent. That's mortgage payment right there. Yeah, but it has saved my life on many occasions, as being a recorder and a monitor, and of course it does the live streaming, but I haven't really done much of that. But let's talk about podcast production with this. Obviously it has 3 HDMI cables, and I only use 2 cameras, so I run the 2. But being able to switch back and forth and record this stuff on the spot is key. I have 2 cameras, so I'll have one set up with a wider angle lens. I have a 16mm that'll be catching. That's enough to get everyone in the frame. And then I have another camera with say a 50mm or an 85mm, depending on how much room we have. Have that one that's going to get the tighter shots closer to the face and all that stuff. So I'll be manning this camera myself, the one that's getting the tighter shot, because I'll be panning back and forth to each person while they're talking. I have to pan, get them locked in, get them framed, and then focus, because I've been dealing with Blackmagic cameras. They don't have autofocus, so I have to pull focus every time I pan to the other person. While this may seem like a lot of work, I mean, it can be, but it's not really hard work. While I'm doing that, I'm also tapping the screen on the Yolobox to record which one I want to record. So for the most part, it's be on the main camera, which would be my wide shot. That'll be A, or HDMI 1. HDMI 2 will be the camera that I have, that I'm manning. And all I do is turn, pan, pull focus, switch it over to the other camera with a tighter shot. So the recorder is recording all of this, so I don't have to run back through and watch this again. I just got a SIM card in it, pop that thing out and put it in my computer. The way I have it set up, and I think that was default, but I think you can change it. I have it set up to where it's going to record in 10-minute segments. So every 10 minutes it starts another file, which I don't mind, because I'm just going to throw them together on the timeline, and I'm done. I'm done. And it looks good, because I'm running 4K out of the cameras. That 4K looks awesome, even though this Yolobox only does 1080 HD, but it looks like 4K, and it really looks really good. So that's one less time. We talking about 2 hours or so, because you gotta think, for an hour of filming a podcast, it's probably gonna take you 2 hours to edit for every hour of filming. That's a lot. If you recorded a few episodes in one day, that's a lot. And that's just talking about the video part of it. Now you gotta talk about the audio. One way to reduce that time you spend on audio is to get some great equipment. I think that's the moral of the story here. You have to invest in great equipment. You see the Shure microphone. When I got these microphones, everything changed. I use the XLR option, and I'll run that into a recorder, which I'm recording it right now. I'll run those into a recorder, which is going to do, I have a Zoom pod track. I think that's what it's called. So each mic is going in there and recorded individually and simultaneously, so that I can get one track with all the audio on it, or I can get these tracks separated out, in which I can adjust the volume on them if I need to. But if the audio comes out sounding good, I'll run into the 4-track recorder, then I'll run into the camera. If I have the levels adjusted right, it'll sound good. I could take the file that comes out of the camera, or it goes into the Yolobox, and I don't have to do anything with the audio because it sounds great. Talking 2-3 days, I can have this back. I get it back on the timeline. I don't have to make any adjustments to audio. The video file is there. I throw some logo on it on the beginning with the music. I put some Instagram handles on it, Facebook handles for all the people that are talking, their contact information, and we're done. Customer has their podcast, and I got my money. And then we'll do it again next week. 2 to 3 days, they got a podcast. So that's how I do it. Equipment does matter. Maybe not to the customer, but definitely to the person behind the camera. So Yolobox Pro, and invest in some good mics, Shure, and a good external recorder. So if things go bad, I mean, at least you got them backed up here. All right. That's been my spiel on this. Feel free to make sure you follow, and you can follow me on Instagram, CJ Film Me. Again, I'm here to help, man. I'm just reporting back I haven't been doing this more than 2 years, and then full time only about 6 months. So, and I'm learning. And then the key though is investing. Invest in your equipment. It'll make your life easier and your workflow. All right. Until next time.